Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Wednesday Fiancé, Jasmine Pineda, wanted to name her baby girl. After Gino, made Matt question his entire life. When it comes to 90 Day Fiancé, there are storylines that make fans laugh, cry, and sometimes clutch their heads in disbelief. But Jasmine Pineda's latest revelation might just take the cake, or at least the hospital birth certificate. The Panamanian bombshell, known for her fiery temper, dramatic flair, and undying obsession with her husband Gino, shocked viewers and even her new partner Matt when she confessed she had planned to name her baby girl after none other than Gino Palazzolo himself. Yes, you read that right. Jasmine, who is currently navigating pregnancy rumors, emotional confessions, and a complicated love triangle-esque situation, decided that if she ever had a baby girl, the child would carry the name of her ex. And not in a subtle way either. We're talking full-on homage to Gino. The confession heard round the TLC universe. The moment unfolded in one of those raw, tear-stained sit-downs Jasmine specializes in. Matt, the man who entered her life after her roller coaster with Gino, had been under the impression that they were starting fresh. He imagined new beginnings, new traditions, and of course, new baby names that didn't scream blast from the past. But Jasmine, being Jasmine, couldn't help but blurt out her truth. "If I ever had a baby girl," she said, her wide eyes brimming with both guilt and defiance, "I wanted to name her Gina." The room fell silent. Matt's jaw dropped so hard it practically echoed. Producers behind the cameras reportedly froze, unsure whether to intervene or let the reality TV gold roll. "Wait," Matt finally stammered. "You mean, after him? After Gino?" Jasmine nodded, brushing her glossy hair back dramatically. "Yes, because he was my first great love. No matter what happened, that bond was strong, and I thought naming a child after him would be beautiful." Matt's expression told a very different story. Matt spirals into existential crisis. For Matt, this wasn't just about a baby name. It was about the life he thought he was building with Jasmine. To him, Jasmine's confession felt like a window into her heart, and what he saw was a shrine to Gino. "He's in every corner of her mind," Matt later confided to producers. "How do I compete with a man she wanted to immortalize through a child?" That's not just lingering feelings, that's obsession. In classic TLC fashion, the scene cut to Matt pacing outside in the Panamanian heat, sweating not from the sun, but from the realization that maybe, just maybe, he had underestimated what he signed up for. He began questioning everything. Was Jasmine really over Gino? Was he just a placeholder for the next chapter in her ongoing saga with her ex? Was his entire relationship doomed to be a rebound masquerading as a fresh start? Fans took to social media immediately. Some sympathized with Matt, calling Jasmine's choice a slap in the face. Others argued that it was simply Jasmine being Jasmine, emotional, complicated and deeply romantic in her own eccentric way. Gino's invisible presence. The irony? Gino wasn't even in the room. He wasn't texting. He wasn't FaceTiming. He wasn't lurking in the background. Yet somehow he dominated the conversation. That's the kind of gravitational pull Gino has on Jasmine's life. "Even when he's not around, Gino's around," one fan tweeted. "He's like the ghost haunting Matt's relationship." And honestly, it's true. From her teary monologues about how Gino changed her forever to her constant references to their past, Jasmine seems unable to let him go. Naming a baby after him was just the cherry on top of her emotional sundae. A deeper meaning, or just drama? Of course, Jasmine later tried to explain herself in confessionals. "Gino was part of my story," she said, her voice trembling. "He loved me in ways no one else could. Even though we fought, even though we broke each other's hearts, he was my soul connection." Naming a child after him, it was not about wanting him back. It was about honoring the love we had. But did Matt buy that? "Not entirely. I get honoring the past," Matt said, shaking his head. "But naming our child after another man? That's not honoring. It's inviting him into our family forever. I can't raise a baby that feels like a tribute to her ex." The tension between them was palpable, and fans are already speculating whether this moment could be the ultimate deal-breaker. Fans react. "Jasmine will never let Gino go," on Reddit and Instagram. Fans were divided, but many echoed the same sentiment. Jasmine's heart still belongs to Gino, no matter how much she tries to move on. One fan wrote, "Matt needs to run. Fast. Jasmine naming a baby after Gino proves she's not healed. She's still obsessed with that man." Another countered, "It's not that deep. People name kids after important figures all the time. Gino shaped her life. This is Jasmine's way of holding on to her history." But the loudest voices were those who couldn't believe Matt's face when she dropped the bombshell. Memes exploded across Twitter. Screenshots of his blank stare, captions like, "When you realize your unborn daughter was almost named after your girlfriend's ex. What happens next?" Insiders claim this revelation sparks one of the biggest fights of the season. Matt reportedly begins pulling back, questioning whether Jasmine is truly invested in their future together. Meanwhile, Jasmine, caught between tears and anger, doubles down on her truth. She can't erase Gino from her story. Will Matt stay and accept that he'll always be second to Gino's memory? Or will he finally realize that loving Jasmine means living in the shadow of a man who wore hats indoors and made viewers question his every life choice? The bigger picture. At the end of the day, Jasmine's confession speaks to something deeper about 90-day fiancé relationships. The past never really stays in the past. These couples carry baggage, sometimes in the form of cultural differences, sometimes in the form of family drama, and sometimes, apparently, in the form of baby names that make new partners question their entire existence. For Jasmine, Gino wasn't just an ex. He was an era, a saga, a TLC legacy, and whether she likes it or not, that legacy lingers in every corner of her new relationship. For Matt, the challenge is clear. Can he carve out his own space in Jasmine's heart, or will he always be competing with the man who almost became his child's namesake? Final thoughts only. Jasmine Pineda could cause such chaos with something as simple as a baby name. In true 90-day fiancé fashion, what should have been a tender conversation about the future turned into a dramatic unraveling of the past. Jasmine wanted to name her baby girl after Gino. Matt wanted a clean slate. What they both got was a reality check. Love is messy, the past is heavy, and on TLC, nothing stays buried for long. And as viewers buckle up for the rest of the season, one thing is certain, the storyline is far from over.